there's some debate about the nature of North American settlement. There is the generally standard idea that there was a land bridge between the Asian territories and modern day Alaska about 16,000 BCE. That the nomadic hunters traveled across that land bridge and started settling North and South America. Recently, this has become contradicted. There is some archaeological evidence in Pennsylvania that settlement was earlier than that. That there's even some evidence that people may have even crossed the Atlantic during this time period. So what we're saying is that this is in dispute. What we do know, though, is that there was a diversity of Native American settlements. The earliest that we have found archaeological evidence for is known as the Clovis people, named after the site in New Mexico, around 9500 BCE or before the Common Era. By about 5000 BCE, we can see that the Neolithic Revolution has hit the Americas, and they become farmers, settled farmers, and no longer hunter-gatherers. By about 1500 BCE, we can see three peoples emerging as dominant in the Americas. The first is the Mayas. They ruled Central America for about 650 years, starting around 1500 BCE. They had a written language. They had complex art. They even developed a calendar that was a bit more accurate than what the Europeans had developed. South of them, in South America, were the Incas. The Incas ruled a vast empire of about 25,000 miles. There was about 12 million people there. About 20 different languages were spoken in the Incan Empire. Again, very complex. They had roads. They had an economy that traveled up and down the mountains. They had a social welfare system. And by 12,000 of the common, the Aztecs, or the Mexica, were settling in Central America. They were forming an empire. By 1325, they're settling in Tenochtitlan, which is their capital, modern-day Mexico City. And they were conquerors. They conquered their neighbors, took over the territory, and demanded heavy taxes and tribute. And because they were very religious, their spiritual religion required human sacrifice. They were constantly capturing the indigenous peoples around them and sacrificing them to the god Huitzilopochtli, apologize for the mispronunciation there, in order to have the blood to keep the sun rising and the calendar moving. This led to, in turn, a lot of dissension and problems for the Aztecs later in the 1500s when the conquistadors come.